YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. Obviously by the title you can tell that we're going to be talking about controller settings for Warzone, and these are going to be able to be applied to PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever system that you're playing on, with maybe a little bit of difference in sensitivity for PC players, but we'll get into that. So hopefully this video will help you out if you're either new to Warzone and you don't know the best controller settings to have to make you feel more fluid through the game, or maybe your game reset for some reason and you forgot all the controller settings that you had. Either way, this video should be able to help you out. So first things first, what you want to do is obviously go to options, select controller. What we'll talk about first are things that you should have applied for your controller, so that way you can run faster through the game or have a little bit more fluidity to your movement. So we're going to scroll all the way down here. A personal preference is your parachute auto deploy. I have mine disabled because I don't like it opening up automatically at 50 meters or whatever it is. Your automatic sprint should be on automatic tactical sprint. That way you'll move forward from a standing position to make your character automatically have an active sprint. This is going to be helpful for your slide canceling. Along with that tactical sprint, you can double tap your left stick so that way he can go into a sprint mode, or you can single tap. Either way, that's a personal preference. Auto move forward you should have disabled, so that way every time you push up on the stick you're not just getting right into a sprint motion. Tap is what you're going to want to have for slide canceling movements, because if you have to hold it, it's going to make it a slower response to your slide cancel. So put this on tap. Armor plate behavior you should have apply all, so that way you don't have to hold Y or triangle for the entire duration while you're plating up. You just press it one time and your character will automatically apply all plates that are needed for him. This is a bit of a personal preference. Depleted ammo weapon switch, that's up to you. Use reload behavior you're going to want to have on contextual tap. That way when you run up to objects or anything you want to interact with in Warzone, you can just press the button once and you're interacting with it instead of having to hold down the button. If you're on PlayStation controller, it's box. If you're on Xbox controller, it's X. This will make the game feel a little bit faster. That way you don't have to sit there in front of a loot box and just hold down that button in order to open it up. You tap it when you're right next to it, opens right up immediately. These next three, equipment, steady aim, and aim down sight behavior, you keep all on hold. Weapon mount, movement, exit, keep that on enabled. Weapon mount, shared input, this is just a preference of how you want to enter into mounting with your weapon. You can choose whatever you want here. Scale aim assist with FOV. This is going to be a little different whether you're on PC or on console. If you have it disabled, you get, as you can see, this bigger hitbox over here. This means that your aim is going to start slowing down before you're actually over this player. So if you're trying to track someone, this will make it a little bit harder to track them. If you have it enabled, your hitbox will be a little bit smaller, so that way as you're getting closer to the enemy, you're easily able to track them. So for PC, this makes a little bit of a difference if you're playing on controller, because the aim assist is a little bit more goated in PC. It's kind of unfair. It'll be easier for you to track the opponent instead of slowing down way before, because once you go into this animation and you're pulling your gun towards the player, it's slowing down in this area. So if you make this smaller, it's going to slow down closer to the enemy, making you a little bit more accurate. Aim assist is whatever your preference wants to be. This is a little bit more for newer players. You know, as you can see by the description here, I keep it on standard. Controller vibration I keep off. I don't want to feel the controller vibrating while I'm playing the game. This aim response curve is a little difficult to understand, but if you think of it like a graph, I'll show you a picture here. Standard just means that there is a slow speed up to tracking a player. Linear is the same speed from the moment you press the stick tracking the player all the way to the end of tracking the player, and dynamic kind of speeds up and then slows down. I have mine on dynamic. This is what I've been playing with, so it just feels what's most comfortable to me. You can play around with this and choose what you like. This is a preference thing, but I keep mine on dynamic. Here's some other things that are going to be a lot of personal preference stuff. So what we're going to get into now is personal preference on your controller and some controller specific items that you're going to want to choose. Custom sensitivity zoom, they just added this with the Vanguard thing. All these different types of zooms 7x, 8x, you can customize how low you want the ADS to slow down on a specific zoom site. So like the low zoom, I have mine at 1, and then the 2, 3, and 4, I have mine at 0.8. So that way there's a little bit more of a slowdown while you're going through an ADS on a scoped gun. It just makes it more easily to control the recoil of the gun. So this is going to be a personal preference. You have to play around with this and see which one you like the most. The ADS sensitivity multiplier, it's locked for me because I'm choosing it custom right here. You know, I mean, if you turn this off, it's going to lock everything, and then you can just choose a basic ADS multiplier across all guns, all scopes, all reticles, whatever you're using. The next thing that we're going to look at that's going to be player specific is your horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity. If you're on a higher FOV like PC players can be, unfortunately still console does not have FOV sliders, which I think is absolutely absurd. But for me, I'm on 120 FOV, so my stick sensitivity is a little bit lower than what I think some console players are playing with. I think when I was on console, I was at like a 1010 or a 1212, but with the FOV being wider, it feels like you're moving faster through the game. And when you move your stick, because you can see more of the field of view on your screen, it seems like you're moving your character a lot faster. So I turned mine down to a 6.6 right now. This is just going to be something that you have to play with to see what's most comfortable for you and what makes you feel like you're most accurate in hitting your shots. The next thing that you're going to go through is your dead zones. The left and right stick input max dead zone, I just keep it at max. The thing you want to worry about here is your minimum input dead zone, and this is going to be very controller specific. If you have an old controller and the thumbsticks are worn out on it or something like that, this number might be higher. A way to test it is to open up a match in Warzone. You can look at the map, turn this thing all the way to 0, and let go of your sticks. And if your stick is moving across the screen, you want to turn this up. I'll show you a little video in the bottom right hand corner so you can see what I'm talking about, or on the screen in general. What you want to do is you want to turn this all the way down and then increase it slightly until the stick isn't moving anymore, or your cursor is not moving on the screen anymore without any input from you. So let go of the sticks and turn this up until it stops moving on its own. The last thing we're going to talk about, and it's also going to be player specific, is your button layout. I got mine on default because I use a SCUF controller and I'm able to remap the paddles on the back of my controller. I have it for slide and jump, so that way I can easily slide cancel. Maybe you like to have yours a tactical, so that way your R3 is your slide, and then you can cancel out with just pressing X on the actual controller. But I use, like I said, I use a SCUF controller, so I don't have to really worry about that. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope this video helped you out and gave a little bit more clarity to settings that you should be using in Warzone. If it did help you out, do me a favor, hit the like button. And while you're here, browse around the rest of my channel and check out some of the other videos that I got posted up. I post Warzone content as much as I can. Feel free to like those videos, comment on them, tell me what you think. I'm going to be trying to come out with a graphics tutorial as well, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, y'all, Savage out.